What once was, my friend. Let's talk Tithes episode 2. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Asmogan and I'm reporting on this latest update. Apparently, female Custodes have been added in some more official media outside of just the Codex, which, don't get me wrong, is plenty official media. I will say this off the bat, I don't consider this any more significant than the... In fact, in many ways, I consider the addition to the Codex far more significant than this. But this is a notable inclusion, shall we say. It sucks that GW are continuing to quadruple down on this terrible decision and this violation of their own lore. And to make this clear for the millionth fucking time, because I've had to say this a dozen times, and I'll keep saying it, the problem with female Custodes is not inherently that they're women. I would be just as fucking pissed if it was a random orc Custodes. I'd be pissed if it was a Tyrannid Custodes. I'd be pissed if it was a Tau Custodes. Because they all equal the same exact level of violation to the lore. It has no positives and only negatives. And for the cucks out there like this dipshit over here, who act like, oh, it's a great thing.
However, during this talk, we came... Oh, sorry. Female custodians are great. There you go. I have no issues with it. Good. The more the better.
Why?
I like that they've added it.
Why?
It would be a different discussion if we were discussing females.
Oh. You don't say why. Because there's nothing it adds. You only like it if you align with the politics that fueled its inclusion. That's the only reason you would like female Custodes. And if that's the case, you care more about your politics than your hobby. You care more about propaganda in your media and in your fandoms more than you care about an escapist setting that shouldn't be beholden to modern sensibilities, that shouldn't be beholden to today's politics and today's social issues. So, this guy's a fake fan. I'm not shouting out his channel. So, anyway. Yeah, there's plenty of cucks on YouTube and on Twitter. A lot of them are celebrating this. Again, I don't consider this any worse than what happened with the Codex. Because in many ways, the Codex is actually more integral to the hobby itself. Because it's directly attached to the tabletop. And the codexes are how a lot of hobbyists continue to pick up tidbits of lore, rather than, pick up all the newest novels. There's plenty of people who don't even touch the novels, unfortunately. Well, I say unfortunately. That's really only applicable to, like, the earliest Horus Heresy books, like, pre-2012, 2013, I'd say. Everything after that's been kind of dog shit. But, yeah. It's been celebrated, but thankfully there's plenty of people also pushing back against it and having issues with it, rightfully so. Like this individual who said, I'm genuinely thinking of giving up on Warhammer 40k. I'm quite disappointed with the choices that have been made. I agree. The hope for the Sisters of Silence, the only opportunity for them to be in the limelight now, overshadowed by female Custodes to just make a political statement. Exactly. And that's why a lot of us have a problem with this. This is... Well, I'd say this is, but it has, in many ways, destroyed 40k lore. And the common defense that you get from the tourists, or the auditors, I guess some people are calling them now, the common defense you get from them is, oh, well, 40k lore is never consistent. It always had issues. Yeah, that disingenuous, intellectually dishonest bullshit you hear constantly. Oh, it's changed in the past. It's only ever changed where there was missing something, where there wasn't details. The Necron example I hate the most when they use, because it's so easy. Like, literally, if you just use 2 brain cells, you'd know that there's no comparison between the female Custodes retcon and how GW have handled this bullshit, and the Necron lore revamp. The Necron lore prior, way back when, there was nothing. Like, there was just like a little subtext of they're basically Terminators in space. We had nothing. They actually fleshed them out to be essentially Tomb Kings in space. That is not the same thing. They were missing something and they had something gained. Here, they were not missing anything and they had something thrust upon them that, again, adds nothing unless you support the politics that are behind it, unless you support propaganda and political virtue signaling in your fandoms, which I do not. And any true fan of a universe, of a setting, of escapism would not support. Point blank. So if you support the inclusion of female Custodes, give me a reason other than it's simply jerking off your political perspective. I haven't been given one. Every reason I've been given is either, oh, it's more representation for women, Sisters of Silence, Sisters of Battle, female guard, etc. This universe has plenty of factions that are either female-dominated, female-centric, or include women altogether. There's only 2 that don't. There's only 2. Space Marines and Custodes. That was it. Everything else either was mixed gender, female-dominated, or female-focused. So, no, you're full of shit. You don't know anything about 40k. You don't know a single thing about 40k if that's a point you made. So, tourist automatically. Total fucking lefty grifter. Fuck off. Like, half of them probably don't even realize Horus's last name is Lupercal. So, yeah, this is just stupid. Yeah, here's the screenshots. I don't know if this is the actual text from the episode, but it says, you heard the Emperor's command, Space Marine. You will obey it. I will. Great. And also, people have been pointing out to me. Shout out to Cavantis. He's the one who pointed this out to me first. But, yeah, the Femstodes here looks kind of like this transvestite wrestler. And to be fair, that's like the one thing that's fairly appropriate on like for the lore side. Granted, they don't give a shit about the lore at all. That's why they're adding them. But it is accurate that she's butt ugly. Like that's pretty. Not only is that accurate to the sculpts GW make because they suck at making female faces, but it's just accurate lore accurate because you know those level of genetic modifications would result in a fairly ugly individual. So yeah, this tracks. That's like the one praise I'll give is, yeah, she looks butt ugly, and she would look butt ugly. But make no mistake, my fellow 40k fans out there, or before now, prior 40k fans, make no mistake that female Space Marines are coming. Now, a lot of the cuck dudes like this dude, by the way, you'll notice all he has is Funko Pops and Tau. Right, but yeah, a lot of the cuck tubers, a lot of the virtue signalers, a lot of the auditors, you know, a lot of those folks, they're gonna act like, oh no, it's not coming. They're just doing this because this made perfect sense. This was the perfect reasonable action next to female Space Marine, since that the lore was explicit about that. But the lore wasn't explicit about this, even though it was. But okay. Yeah, make no mistake. Don't let their gaslighting get to you. They're gonna add them. It's not about if, it's about when. And they will add them. So for me, the female Custodes thing is the affirmation that the lore is sacred is a bit of a strong word, but it's no longer tenable. Like the lore doesn't matter going forward here. It doesn't. Like up to 7th edition, I'd say the lore mattered quite significantly. Yeah, there were inconsistencies. Yeah, there was some retcons, but again, said retcons were always either terribly received or actually made sense in the case like the Necrons. Because again, you actually fleshed them out. You actually gave them something what they were missing. But going forward with the Femstodes thing, with everything going forward, yeah, it's all bullshit. Like, if you have a collection of 40k books, throw out anything that was made after 2014, 2015, I'd say, and call it good. Because, yeah, the 40k lore is kind of done at this point. I mean, it was already kind of dying out due to the lack of Grimdark elements since Gilliman came back. That was in the Primaris thing, but it still had some hope of, I don't know, kind of pulling something together. But in these last few years, with the steady bowing down and bending the knee to DEI, wokeness, and now this like huge overt slap in the face with the Femstodes stuff, yeah, 40k lore doesn't matter anymore. Like, the backbone of the whole hobby is broken. Like, they've snapped every vertebra. So, yeah, I have no investment in 40k lore going forward. That being said, I'm still going to 3D print models. I still have my huge pile of shame to work through. I mean, only part of it's right there on the table. Got a shit ton of it down there. So, yeah, I got plenty to tide me over, and even when I go through all that, I have 3 3D printers. 3D printer go burr. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Personally, I'm pretty much done with 40k going forward. Again, I'm still a fan of the old stuff. I'm still a fan of 40k in aspect up to 7th edition. I have the stuff to play 10th edition for my orcs anyway. But I don't really want to. Most of the guys in my area switched back to 9th a little while back, so I'm gonna play with them. I'm gonna see if I can convince a handful of the guys to switch to 7th edition, which I should be able to do because there's a couple of the older guys have like every edition since like 5th or 4th edition. But yeah, I'm pretty much good. 40k is not 40k anymore. It's Virtue Signal 40k. Anyway. I'll catch you guys later. Keep a lookout for the Gunpla videos going forward. I'm working on a large Gunpla video. I'm going to try a documentary style. I don't know if that'll work out. Hopefully you guys will be the judge of that. Keep a lookout because I'm jumping into that hobby. I'm not transitioning to that hobby. I am expanding to that hobby. Again, I'm still doing 40k, and I'll still do 40k videos and lore and stuff, but it will be based on Femstodes stuff. Actually, realistically, pre-Primaris for a good chunk of it. So, yeah, keep a lookout for that. Keep an eye on the channel. I'm pretty much going to slow down on these commentary style videos because they're not fun to make, usually. Don't get me wrong, it's fun to laugh at the woke when they fuck up a lot of the time. But at the same time, it's just not fun. Like, I like making fun videos. I like, painting. I like doing stuff that's actually enjoyable. This is more just annoying. So, anyway, I'm going to slow down the commentary stuff, but keep an eye out for the hobbyist stuff. I'm making more shorts now as well. Shorts are going to be where a lot of my positive content is going to be in terms of, like, regularity. So, yeah. Love you guys. Subscribe, leave a like, and have a good one. Bye-bye.